Not content with killing 270,000 Americans through willful neglect, Trump and friends now want to kill as many people as possible through lethal injection. Or firing squad. Trump is trying to change a federal law which will allow more federal execution methods beyond just lethal injection. Might as well bring back public hangings. That's just good, clean family fun right there. Since 1970, the federal government has executed 3 people, and none in the past 17 years. Trump and Bill Barr started them up again this year, and since July, they have executed 8 people. That's more in 5 months than the federal government has executed in the past 50 years. About half of all states still allow capital punishment, and all of those states combined executed 7 people this year. Trump will have killed 10 in 2020 and 3 more in January. In the past 100 years, 0 people have ever been executed during a lame duck session of a presidency. Trump wants to kill 5 more people before he's booted from the White House. That is what he is focused on in the final months of his presidency. While ranting and raving about law and order, Trump also loves to portray himself as some kind of champion of criminal justice reform. Pardoning your criminal friends and family members is not criminal justice reform. But the truth is, Trump never really got over the Central Park 5. He couldn't convince New York's criminal justice system to execute them because they're innocent. So now he's going to use the U.S. justice system to execute as many black men as possible. 2 of the 8 federal inmates who have been executed this year were black men. 4 of the next 5 are black men, including Brandon Bernard. He was sentenced to death at 18 years old for being an accomplice. The guy who did the actual killing got life. The prosecutor in the case is now pleading for mercy. Kind of wish you found that level of mercy years ago, because now, next week, Brandon Bernard will be dead. There are so many reasons not to give a notoriously corrupt criminal justice system the power to kill. The number of inmates who are eventually exonerated is enough to ban capital punishment forever. And if you want to talk economics, it's actually cheaper to imprison someone for life than to give them the death penalty. Unsurprisingly, black men are given the death penalty at a higher rate for the same crimes than white men, because race, class, and money always affect justice. Plus, the death penalty doesn't even deter crime. It doesn't make anyone safer. It doesn't honor the victim's life. Most family members of victims don't even want the death penalty, and less than 5% said it brought them closure. So who is it for? Oddly enough, pro-lifers are very supportive of the death penalty. The 6 so-called pro-life conservatives of the Supreme Court, including the newest member, Amy Coney Barrett, just allowed Bill Barr to execute Orlando Hall after a lower court had blocked the execution. Killer start to her lifetime tenure. The United States is one of the few so-called civilized countries that still allows capital punishment. Personally, I think it's barbaric, unconscionable. But however you feel about the death penalty, Trump's rush to kill people as power slips through his grasp is sick. But that's who he is and who he has always been, a cruel bully, a coward who loves looking tough while making other people do his dirty work. And the saddest part, he will never be held accountable. He will never get his comeuppance. That is a liberal fantasy. It ain't happening. Now, if it did, if he was somehow charged with all of his crimes, you might just convince me to support the death penalty. You know what I'm saying?